Hello, my friend. Have you ever had something to say and suddenly went silent? Have you ever stumbled through a conversation only to think later, well, that's what I should have said? Have you ever said to someone, you're not hearing me? Well, my friend, you are not alone. My name is Kathy Riley. I'm your host and communications expert with over 25 years in litigation and another 15 as an entrepreneur. Our goal here at Breaking Bad Communication is to share tools, systems, techniques guaranteed to shift the way you think about conversations, to empower you from mastering the art of a tough conversation to cultivating a mindset that screams confidence. You're going to walk away with amazing tools that will help break those bad habits. And today, if you're a parent, you're going to really love this conversation. My daughter just got home. We've had spring break, so she was away at college for the last couple months, and I got to have her home for a week. It's so exciting and awesome to have her back. But we got to talking about, when she was younger. And what's funny is, when you're faced with the end, you start thinking about the beginning, right? And I'm at the point now where we're letting go. As parents, we're letting go, and she is becoming this amazing, smart, beautiful adult. And so that baby is gone. She'll always be my baby, but the baby's gone. And here's what I know is the way we talk to ourselves, how we say things in our head to ourselves, what I call the itty bitty shitty committee, the way we talk to ourselves becomes the way we talk to our kids, whether we mean it or not. And so I want to share with you some of this, some lessons. And it's some of the things that I talked about with my daughter. We're not going to go down that path, but what we say to ourselves really impacts how we talk to our kids. It really does. And I think about the way that my parents communicated with me, which, they didn't really, they didn't, you know. Um, I could go off on a tangent. Maybe I will. So there was no sex talk. There wasn't a sex talk in my family. They didn't, when I became of age and all of that, it was my son can go out and bleep anything, that's all right, but nobody you can't date until you're married. That was my sex talk. So communication really wasn't a big thing in my household. Now, granted, I did grow up in a very loving, very supportive household, but I had two parents that worked, right? They did the best they can with the information they had. Now, they didn't get a lot of communication on their end either. So, but knowing this changes. So, guys, own this. Step into this. If you're a parent, really, really own this. What you say to yourself on a regular basis is translated to how you communicate with your kids. It really does. And, you know, here's the thing that why being a parent is so important to me. I remember so I had a first marriage practice one. And my Prince Charming he was engaged. So we both had a bit of a hiccup trying to find our true love. But yet we found it. We were blessed. And when we got married, we were like, we're not waiting. We're going to have kids right away. Let's do this. And I remember on the plane ride back, I see it now. Here we are, and we were sitting like in the back of the plane. It wasn't a big plane, and we're nuzzled next to each other, right? So I'm in the middle, he's on the aisle, and we're just kind of leaning into each other, just talking about what a wonderful wedding and honeymoon it was all in Key West, one place, one resort, and it was amazing. We had all of our family and closest friends around us, and we picked out names on that flight home of our babies. I'm actually going to cry a little bit. So we knew the name of our daughter before we even started the process, right? Well, actually, we kind of joked that it would be kind of funny if, it would be a honeymoon baby. But that wasn't our path, and that wasn't our plan. We ended up having infertility issues for 2 years. For 2 years. And don't worry, we will be talking about infertility and how we communicate or lack thereof around infertility down the road. That's not what this podcast is about. But we tried so hard to have a baby. And my daughter is in vitro. Um, it was my husband likes to joke that there was actually five people in the room when we conceived our child because there was. It wasn't the old-fashioned way, but we were so blessed to have her. And she's our little miracle. She really is. And she's my baby. She's our miracle. We have two in heaven, but we have one here. So we were one and done, essentially. Technically, we have three, but we were one and done, and she is spoiled but not rotten. She's my everything. And paying attention to how we communicate with her, like we would read to her all the time. And I love the fact that she's a nerd. She's a beautiful, gorgeous nerd. And she embraced that. And I wanted her to embrace that. Being a nerd, being intellectual, it's cool. More of us need to embrace our brain. And so we're just truly, truly blessed. But as she, was a baby and getting older, we never really did a lot of the baby words. Like we were very much, both of us are intellectuals. So there's a funny story on that one. When we were trying to have a baby, um, I'm visiting my sister. She was living in California at the time, and her son was kindergarten. So he was in kindergarten, and I was coming to visit, and they were actually, I think I might have been pregnant at the time. And I came to visit, right? And so he's got class, and my sister got to volunteer for the class. And she's like, "Come with me." And I'm like, "Okay, well, this was back before you had to give like blood and urine to pass a test and all of that to come walking into a classroom." So I was um, able to just come in. I showed my driver's license, right? And walking in, and I'm in the classroom with all of these little kids. And it was like, I'm like, yes, because I can't wait to be a mom. This is going to be awesome. So I get set at this table with probably four little kids, no one I'm related to. And we're doing like this little bingo game. And they've got me, talking to them about whatever the game that we're playing, and I'm trying to describe something, and I am not doing a good job, because I'm an adult and I work with attorneys, intellectuals. I'm married to an attorney, all of this, and my words, I had to dumb it down. And so my sister comes over to me and she's like, "Kathy, I love you, but dumb it down. You got to really dumb it down for these kids." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, okay." And then I started, talking more at their level, not baby talk, mind you, but just more at their level. And then we had a blast. So that lesson stuck to me as I had my daughter and as she's growing up, is to kind of make sure we put it at her level, not baby talk. And I didn't do that purposely. It's just that's kind of how I am. That's just how I'm built. And I remember one point in time, she was about 5 years old. She was about kindergarten. So this is the same time frame as with my nephew. So here we are, 5 years old, and I'm in the bathroom getting ready to get get ready for work. So I'm getting all showered up and all this stuff. And she comes in to me. She's all dressed because she had been fed and all this good stuff. And she looks at me and she's like, "Hey, mama." And I'm like, "Yeah, baby, what's going on?" She's like, "Do these pants make my butt look big?" And I was like, "Oh, snap." My 5-year-old child just asked me if her pants make her butt look big. Well, first of all, there isn't a 5-year-old that's got a big butt. They are absolutely adorable, and you just want to, they're just so, uh, baby butts are so cute. That could be another conversation for another day. But my child actually asked me if her butt looked big, which really, really was an aha moment for me, because they may not listen to what we say. Most of our kids, they kind of listen to what we say, but they really do listen to the conversations we have to ourselves and to other people. So if I'm walking around there saying, hey, honey, does this make my butt look big? Or looking in the mirror and saying, ah, gosh, these make my butt look big. Guess what? They hear it. They start believing it themselves. What are the words that you are saying? What are you talking about to your spouse, to your other family members, to yourself that they are picking up on, that they are hearing? Because they hear it. Ah, gosh. You wish they would hear the right things, but they hear everything. So what are you saying? Take a moment and think about, goodness gracious, what are the things that you're saying to yourself? What are the things that you are saying out loud? What are the thoughts that you've said negatively about yourself? And how can we flip that switch? And I'm going to share with you some tools on how to do that. It's part of what I do with my clients, and I talk about this on my keynotes, fighting that itty bitty shitty committee. And I often say, if you cannot say this, the words that you are saying to yourself, if you cannot say that out loud to a child or to your grandmother, you have no business saying it to yourself. And that's the reality. After that conversation with my daughter, you better believe that does this make my butt look big never came out of my mouth again. I changed the way I see myself because I want her to see herself as gorgeous, as beautiful. Our human bodies are we're miracles. Everything about us is a miracle. So we need to be looking in the mirror and saying, yeah, yeah, I make this look good. So flip the switch on what you're saying to yourself, knowing that they hear you. I mean, how often do you say things like, God, I'm so stupid? Saying that out loud. Well, guess what? Your kid is going to say it too. Do you want your kid to say that? Do you say things? This always happens to me. I always mess this up. Well, guess what? They're listening and they're going to start saying it. So if you do not want them to repeat the things that you are saying, those negative itty bitty shitty committee remarks, then stop saying them. Become aware of those moments, of those conversations. The other thing we're going to talk about, another tool is to name it to tame it, right? When frustration hits, talk about it. It's kind of like narrating it because they're in the moment, right? They're there with you. And all of a sudden you're just getting all frustrated. Maybe you're cursing or whatever it is. And you can say, take a breath and like, look, honey, I'm really frustrated with what's going on right now. I'm aggravated. I'm this, I'm that. I just need a moment. And so you're narrating your regulation. You're narrating the shift that you are doing internally. And so your child will see you narrate, right? They're going to see you in this process and think, okay, I can do that too, right? You're not telling them this is what you do. You're showing them this is what you do. My daughter and I had a rule. She was not allowed to curse until she was 18. Once she was 18, she could say whatever word she wanted to. She was an adult. That was my thing. I just didn't want it. I'm not a big cursor. Yes, I say itty bitty shitty committee, but that's to make a point. I'm just not a big one, unless of course you've got a couple, beers in me and then, all bets are off. But, or I'm hanging around my friend Susan, who loves to use the F word. I'll come home and they're like, been around Susan again, huh? Yep. Okay. Give me a minute, hot minute. I will recalibrate. I love you, Susan. But so I'm not a big one unless, and here's the key, unless pain has been inflicted in my body. So I stub my toe, right? Or I hip check. I'm one of those clumsy people that I always have bruises on my hips because I hip check a corner that sends me to the floor, right? Your knees buckle, the pain is amazing. and I will curse. Then I will curse, and those words will come flying out of my mouth. And there have been times that my daughter's right there, and I talk to her. I'm in pain. I'm in pain. You know, I'm sorry I use that word. This frustration I've got. I just got to get it out. I got to get it out. It hurts. It hurts. It'll get better. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. And I walk through the process out loud with her. I narrate it. And I got to tell you, it's kind of therapeutic on both ends, right? So they hear, see, experience how you're navigating that pivotal moment of pain, of frustration, of anxiety, of whatever it is. So they see that. They see you navigating it, get to the other side, knowing that one, they can get to the other side too, and that the system works. So name it to tame it, right? Be a narrator and explain it. The other thing is to rewrite the script. The things that you are actually saying to yourself, flip it. Start paying attention and flip it. This is an internal one, right? This doesn't have to do with being with your child at any given time. This is how you rewrite what you say to yourself. So when you, instead of saying things like, this always happens to me, right? That's a horrible thing, because what you think about, you bring about. You're putting it out into the universe that this always happens to me. Just rephrase it. Say, oh God, I just love it when this happens, right? I love it. I love it when this happens. What you think about, you bring about. So shift those words. I'm one of those people that has a tendency to forget names. And I'm working on cues, right, to help remember. And so that's what I say to myself now is I'm getting really, really good at remembering names. I'm getting really, really good. I still struggle, but I'm getting really, really good at remembering names. How can you rewrite the script of the things that you're saying to yourself? Start small and keep doing it. As you do it little by little, things change. You change. You're actually reprogramming your brain. This is an amazing tool, and I'm not going to get it. It's just a way of resetting and rebooting your computer, which is your brain. So rewrite the script on that. Let's talk about how you talk to yourself in the mirror. Do you know that 9 out of 10 times when you look in the mirror, the first thing you say to yourself as you're looking at yourself, 9 times out of 10, it's negative. So just like we said to rewrite the script, when you look in the mirror, start paying attention to that thought pops up and shift it. Give yourself a compliment. Always give yourself a compliment. I've got a couple mirror exercises that I actually have on my website. So if you go to freegiftfromkathy.com, look for the mirror exercise, download it, stick it by the mirror. Because what we're going to do is now, every time you look in the mirror, you're going to give yourself a compliment. You're going to tell yourself that you love yourself. You're going to bring positivity to the conversation that you're having with yourself. I have mine in my bedroom mirror, my bathroom mirror. So print it out, cut it, paste it, stick it on the mirror, and make that a habit. Again, that's at freegiftfromkathy.com. Download it. It's yours. Use it. This is a tool. That mirror can shift away the way that you talk to yourself. It is amazing. And I will say that if you do this, then your child will see you doing this, and they will know this is a tool that they can use as well, right? Lead by example. Pay attention to that shift. And then the other thing is just, when you're closing out the day with your child, ask them, what are you celebrating today? What's one thing that went really, really well? What is one thing that you're grateful for? Have them, teach them to focus on the positive. The way our brain works is all too often we think about what went wrong. Okay, we got 100 things that happened. 99 went right, one went wrong, and we will focus and we will just chew on that one thing that went wrong. We can't help it. We can't help it. But we can reprogram ourselves to really, really purposely focus on what went right. This works great for teams, just so you know. But when you're talking to your child, what's one really good thing that happened today? Let's celebrate it. Teach them to start focusing on the positive because we need more positivity. We totally need more positivity in this world. Our brains don't focus on it. We're taught not to focus on it. We're taught not to brag. We're not taught, to shine our bright, not too brightly. Don't shine too bright, right? I say phooey on all that. Shine as bright as possible. Celebrate every single one. Tell your child how awesome they are. No matter what, let them celebrate each and every win that they get. Awesome. Navigate, how can we, when the things go wrong, because they will, how can we navigate it? Man, this thing, you lost this game, but what's one thing you did right? Good job, right? So what's one thing we can work on? But focusing on the things that went right, help them see that no matter what, in any given situation, there is a good thing that's coming out of it. So as you navigate this, as you think about this, as you quite honestly, just start paying attention. What are the things that you are saying to yourself? What are the things that you're thinking out loud, you're saying out loud? You have no idea what's going on because you're letting your subconscious rule the roost. And when it's the itty bitty shitty committee, man, you're not leading by example for what you want your child to do. You want them to have a great life. You want them to do better than you. So now that we know better, let's start doing better. Pay attention to those things that we're saying and shift from the negative to the positive. Use the tools I shared today. And if you have any other ideas on how to bolster this, I would love to hear it. Feel free to email me at criley@sharingtheshine.com. Let me hear from you. I want to know, what else can we do to help improve our communication with our kids? Because you know what? They are the next generation. They are what matters. As a parent, that's truly, that they are what matters most. So thank you for hanging out here today. Hopefully you've gained some insight. Maybe there's one thing that you've taken away from here. Otherwise, you know what? It's still a good day. It really is a good day. And so that's a wrap for today's episode of Breaking Bad Communication. I truly appreciate you being here and tuning in. And before we sign off, don't forget to subscribe. You start following me. Feel free to find me on Instagram under Sharing the Shine, TikTok, other things. I love stalkers. So as you head back out into the world, remember every conversation is your chance to shape your life and the lives of others. Whether it's a tough talk or a casual chat, I invite you to be clear, be intentional, and listen like it matters. The better you communicate, the more your life aligns with what you truly want. So come on, now go, get out there, own your voice, make your words count. It's your time. Giddy up.